Yo, welcome to Yapzone, episode 7. This is actually take 2 of me trying to film this today because the first one that I filmed, I didn't realize had all of my stream overlay on the video. So when I went to go edit it, I noticed it was like sub goal, follow me, like all this nonsense, and I can't just take it off. So redoing it, fun. And yeah, I don't remember most of what I said anyway. I deleted it already. And I didn't really like it. So I guess it's fine. So we're just gonna kind of start over brand new. Um, yeah, my week today. I wasn't very productive last week. I was not. I will be honest. I was not very productive last week. Although I did take my Japanese lessons. I started taking Japanese lessons twice a week to ramp up my learning, and that's been good. And today I actually rode my bike for the first time since winter started. I hate riding in the cold, and I hate riding whenever the wind is like super bad because it's just I don't know, it's just not fun. And I probably should have done it because it's like my main way of staying like healthy and like I don't know, just like feeling good, I guess. But there wasn't much sun anyway, and I didn't do it. And I think that is a major factor, one of the reasons why I've been so slow like this winter. Maybe it's everybody. Maybe we're all just in some sort of hibernation state when winter comes around. I don't think there's anyone that like works better during the winter time. And if there is, you're a psychopath. I'm just gonna say it, you're a psychopath. Um, I like the cold sometimes. But I prefer it to be basically like warm. Um, I like rain, and summer's okay. I hate the cold. It's just your lips chap, things get all fucked, and then you stop wanting to do things. You slow down. But I rode my bike, and for me that is like one of my biggest forms of therapy. I ride my bike around the Austin River, and I get like lots of sunshine from it, and I don't know, it just kind of it makes me realize that like we're like humans, like we're literally just a bunch of overgrown plants. You know, like somewhere along the line our DNA diverged and we're no longer just gametes or whatever, zygotes, whatever the fuck the cells are called, and we grew a different direction, turned into some monkeys, and now we're just advanced monkeys. But our functions are relatively the same, you know? Plants need sunlight, food, water to grow, and it's dumb, but like literally that's what we need too in order to function properly. And it seems like nowadays like people don't get enough water, they don't get the right nutrients, and they definitely probably now more than ever don't get enough sun. And yeah, I've been feeling it. I've been feeling it. Like even right now, like before I rode, I filmed the video before I rode my bike. Um, and I wasn't as like energetic, you know, I was like slower or whatever. So, I mean, it's probably just because I woke up from riding my bike and everything, but now I feel like this video is like flowing a lot more, like my brain's working better. Typically, like most of my life, I've been someone who stays up way too late. Like, you know, I've worked half of my career basically. Half of my time is like a career person, you know, just I don't like saying career because it makes me think like I actually care about my job. But half of my jobs that I've worked in my life have been like graveyard shifts. I worked 2 years at a coffee shop as one of my main first jobs ever. And I've worked the last like 3 years at this place working second shift, which is mostly graveyard. And I work from like 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. I worked at a smoke shop for like a while, and that was from like 10 p.m. to like 7 a.m. Miserable. I don't know why I keep convincing myself to take these shifts, because like on paper, when you're younger, it's like, dude, I get to stay up like super late and make more money because of it. Sure, dude, sign me up. And then like you don't realize that they're actually like the worst thing for your health. Like you should not be awake when the sun's down. Like when the sun's down, you should be asleep. And whenever the sun's up, you're awake. That's usually how it's supposed to work. But whenever you're constantly subjecting yourself to the opposite, it's just like everything stops fucking working. That's basically what it's been for me for a long time now. So I'm trying to get out and get some sun. Like I forsake my sleep to stay up basically a little bit longer until the sun rises, and then I go to bed like for maybe 6 hours before work. But I don't know. It's tough, dude. Finding a schedule during this shit, like trying to get what you need to do done during this horrible schedule is miserable. But I rode my bike. I got some sun, and I just think about like it's just so simple. Like that term, we're all overgrown plants, and it's true because like water that we don't get, like I said earlier, is very important. You know, if you don't drink enough water, like your joints don't function. Your body is like, fuck you, dude. And like I'm guaranteed most of us don't get enough water. I have a friend that I won't name, but I'm sure she's gonna watch this and probably say something to me. But this motherfucker like went like half her life drinking just Diet Coke and no water. Like I don't know how she's even alive at this point. I mean, hopefully she's drinking water now. I don't know, maybe she stopped, but like I can't imagine drinking soda for like most of your life instead of water. That's what a lot of kids go through, but I don't know. I've always been a water drinker, so like I never really experienced what it's like without it. But water and food, most people don't get balanced diets. You know, whether you're on a ramen noodle every night thing, it's not really the best. You need some sort of vegetables. You need some sort of natural sugar, you know, fruit, whatever. Doesn't have to be every day, but you just can't eat bad shit every day. And when I was younger, not only was I like a late night person, like I'd stay up way too late, thinking that like I don't know, it stemmed from like FOMO. You know, like there was so much things that you want to do, so many games you want to play as a kid, so many shows you want to watch. I gotta finish Naruto, so I gotta stay up all night. You know, things like that. And then you'll be up till like 4 a.m. every day, going to school at like 6 a.m. So you don't get any sleep. And I functioned, you know, I survived, but it was like it just wasn't good, you know, because then that would enable the habit of never sleeping really. And then usually if you're never sleeping, then you get hungry. Usually the time that you get hungry, like, because like the normal person eats dinner, you know, like 7 o'clock, around that time. Sometimes earlier, sometimes later. But you're not supposed to be eating at night. Like when you go to sleep, you sleep for like 8 hours or whatever. You wake up in the morning and you're usually starving, right? Well, for me, I'd stay up so long that like my hunger would come back at like 2 a.m. and I'd eat fucking Whataburger. Now, keep in mind, this is pre-sellout Whataburger, so this stuff was cash. It was top tier. Pre-sellout Whataburger was like another level. And I mean, it's still just fast food, so it's like, yeah, it's still shitty, but at the same time, it was good fast food. And I would either do Whataburger or the Lumberton, Texas staple Waffle House. Those are the two things you would do in the middle of the night, typically after drinking, but also if you're a degenerate like me who just never slept. And so I had this habit of like not sleeping, then going and eating junk food like almost every night and playing games, and it was just bad. Like I joined the military and most of it kind of went away for a while. But then like the moment I got out of training and came back home to do like reserves or whatever, like basically I was like, fuck this. Like nobody's telling me what to do anymore, so I'm just gonna go back to eating junk and staying up late. Because like when you live off cafeteria food for so long, and you don't have access to like good food, you come home and you're like, dude, I want to eat good, and then you just pig out and bless. But I've been in a bad cycle for a long time, because no matter what I've done, I've never focused enough on my health like I am now. Like I'm doing a good job now. It's not the best job, but it takes a while to break bad habits, and I'm doing it slowly one at a time and try not to backslide. But getting sun was good. I feel refreshed. Last week was probably one of the most non-productive weeks that I've had in a while. Like, just didn't do anything that I was supposed to. That was smooth, Andrew. They just fell when I meant to put them down. But It was one of the most non-productive weeks I've had in a while. I didn't do most of what I was supposed to do. I mean, I kind of took care of my health and ate good, but like the filming that I wanted to do didn't get accomplished. The work that I was supposed to do didn't get accomplished. My homework didn't get accomplished as fast as I needed it to. I just kind of slept because I didn't sleep enough the week before, and I suffered for it this week. But I don't know. I'm in like a positive mood now because I'm finally like not in shitty weather, and I'm making good choices again the last few days. So I feel like I'm gonna have a decent week. I'll keep you updated, but you'll find out next video if I successfully kept up with everything. That might be a theme that I say I'm going to do stuff and then I don't. Pretty sure I talked about that in another video, but yeah, I mean, we need these things though. We need sun, we need water, we need food. Sun is drastically important, more important than most people realize. Like we've gotten to the point, like this is something to think about, but if you think about like the happiest cultures right now in the world, most of the cultures that you like look at and you're like, these people are just like always happy. It's because like they don't have as much of these like shackles that modern societies have with like overabundance of tech and ease. Like, supersize me style food and convenient technology and stuff to make things easier instead of doing something as simple as walking and stuff like that. These cultures that walk outside all day, when they get to the locations, they walk and they're in the sun a lot, like Filipinos and stuff, and God knows who else. I can't really think of it off the top of my head. I'm not gonna try, but just in general, like you see, like the happiest people are the ones that subject themselves to life, to living outside and doing things that your body was programmed to do. I don't think we've got to the point where we can completely program out walking and getting sunlight and drinking water and stuff like that. Like you still need to do those things. No matter how easy life is now than it was in the past, like you still need those things. And you don't need to settle for one or the other. You don't have to be hippy dippy outside every day growing your own crops. You don't have to be complete shut in relying only on our man made technology to make everything easy for you. I think the best thing that you could do is be somewhere in the middle. The balance. You find the balance. I don't know if I'm the only person that does this, but like whenever I'm thinking about something or a topic or I'm having a conversation, deep thoughts with the homies, doesn't really matter what it is, but 9 times out of 10, I will end up cycling whatever I'm saying into balance. Like I'm always like, say you're talking about, exercise and how to do it properly or whatever. I'll always come up to like, oh well, you gotta hit those gains, but at the same time you need to sleep and you take, a couple of days off. It's about balance. Like it just like it'll just pop into my head no matter what it is. Talking about food and what you need, and I almost just paused my recording. I would have killed myself in Roblox, not in real life. But everything that you could possibly think of, whether it's the type of food that you eat, whether it's how often you go out to party, like it could be a good thing or a bad thing. Say a good thing is eating healthy. Well, in order for you to properly eat healthy, you need a balance of everything. Say it's a bad thing like going out and partying. It might be a bad thing, but if you have the right balance, then you can use it as a mechanism to relax, wind down, and do whatever. But everything that you do, typically, if you do it at the correct balance, you'll get benefit out of it. Like our brains have receptors for like just about every drug known to man. But if you overload those receptors, then that's when you get to like, ooh. It's like we were made to be able to handle most things, but just doing it the right way, getting the correct balance on shit. And it's something that I think about often, and I feel like I'm literally the only person who does that. I don't know, maybe someone else out there is like, oh, balance. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure Buddhist practice people, like people who practice Buddhism, they probably are all about balance because isn't it like their whole mantra is like balance and oneness, like you find the balance in yourself or whatever. So maybe they do, but I mean, just like Western people, I guess. Are there people out there that think like I do when it comes to that? Because it just seems weird to me. Because it almost always connects to balance. And I feel strange every time I do that because I'm like, this is weird, man. Is it just like, is it me? Like, like it just seems so simple. It's like, if that's the case, then why don't you just bring that up in every conversation, you know? Like, you're talking about like you don't want to do the job that you're currently at. You want to do something else that you actually enjoy, but you don't know how because you don't know how to make enough money. Okay, well, instead of doing a long conversation about how you do this the proper way, whatever, whatever, let me just start off with balance. Well, if you balance things out, then you'll probably be 100 times happier. Work a job that makes you enough money to then do what you love at the same time. Find the balance in between both. If you can't find a way to make money doing what you love. And that's what it seems like, is if you just start off from the concept of like balance, then things tend to work out. It's kind of strange. I don't know. Maybe I'm like overcomplicating it. Maybe it's not that easy, but it just seems like it is usually. You know, maybe the yin yang thing had more to it than I thought. But good and evil, whatever. I've always been a believer in like there's a middle ground in most things. And then once again, that'll loop back around to balance. I'm usually more interested in the people who are shades of everything. You know, the people who are balanced or in the middle. Like the best villains in TV shows and everything are people who aren't 100% evil or aren't 100% good. It's people who have depth to their character. Like I mean, right now it's all over Twitter that they have like Avatar, The Last Airbender. That stuff has been all over Twitter recently. So case in point, the villain or the big bad of Avatar is Fire Lord Ozai, and he's not just like some simple I hate everything, so I'm gonna kill everything. You know, there's depth to his character, and there's reasons why he does the things that he does. You know, the people who treated him the way he did to turn him into a monster. You know, the reasons why he does, like, having reasons, and it doesn't make them a good person. You know, you don't forgive them for it, but it's more interesting when a character that's written has depth. And it's more interesting for me when I'm getting to know someone if they have depth and they're not just shallow, where you can easily read everything that they would think and do. But I don't even know how I got to this topic. I was talking about sunlight. I was talking about how we were overgrown plants, and now I'm over here talking about fucking Fire Lord Ozai. If you haven't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, you gotta watch that shit. I'm probably gonna make a video on it eventually. Like, I think watching Avatar: The Last Airbender during my developmental period is probably one of the. This sounds silly, but I think it was one of the best things for me growing into a competent human who's capable of thought. Like, there's so many lessons in that show, and I don't know, it's just such a good show. Like, it's meant for kids, but it's like there's so many grown-up concepts in it, and it's executed brilliantly. I don't know, it's a great show. Watch it if you haven't already. I'm about to watch it again. I'm talking about it so much. But yeah, we're all overgrown plants. Get the stuff that we need so we can grow to where we want to be. The sunlight thing's important though. Like, if y'all been trapped inside all day, like, take a break from whatever you're doing and just go outside, man. You don't gotta touch grass. Maybe you're allergic or whatever. That's a huge step. I know touching grass is a big step, but you know, just go get some sun or something. Like, go stand on your balcony like for 10 minutes a day or whatever. But you need it because your body's probably dying without it. There's no replacement for the real thing. You can take as many vitamin D capsules or whatever the fuck it is that it gives you. It's not going to be the same thing. You have to straight up go get it straight from the source. Drink it from the tap. But if you haven't been able to tell from my mood through most of this video, I feel like I'm feeling better right now. Riding my bike has helped a lot. Centering myself and taking a step back from work and getting the sleep that I need has helped a lot. And we'll see next week if it continues. It should, though. I think there's a positive trend this week. I think I'll get a lot done. I'm not gonna promise a different video, but there is a game coming out Friday that I'm taking off the whole day for, and I'll probably film something, but it's not gonna come out. Like, if I do a video, it's not gonna come out next week. Like, I'll stream it, but the video that I'll do for it's not gonna come out next week. It'll be like at least like a month out. But I am gonna increase my production a lot. I'm feeling pretty good. So I hope you guys take care of yourselves. You know, drink lots of water, get some sunlight, stretch. Stretching is important. Just listen to your body, you know? Do what you need to do and take care of yourself. Don't neglect the things that are common knowledge that are important. I know our bodies and brains like to neglect the things that are common, like, you know, your parents saying, do this, do that, brush your teeth, drink water, and you're like, you hear it like a million times, but you're like, I don't, it's not that important, but it is. Like, all these things that you hear that sound silly and cringe, like, they're so important. So, take care of yourself, you know? But I'll see you next time. If you have anything you want to talk to me about, feel free to leave it in the comments or message me. I'm a pretty unbiased listener, but yeah, I'll be back to Yap again next week, and hope to see you guys there.